Whether you're coming from a boat or a stand, welcome back to the Lodge. With your hosts, Matthew Dredska.
Wait, no, that's not what I meant. No, come on, no. Dang.
And Patrick Mudge.
I really don't know what to say that's funny because I'm not a very funny person.
True.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they're gone. I won't have nothing left. Don't tell me you're strong and you got no regrets. If thinking about us, thinking about then, thinking about how it could have been, don't cross your mind. So if you're doing fine, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
Back to the Lodge is brought to you by Icey-Tek, USA.
6:04 p.m. in West Tennessee. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Nick.
And we are back to the Lodge. And this is now week 7?
7.
Heck yeah, man. And what a week.
That's an understatement.
Yeah, it is. It has been absolute crazy, nonstop work for just days on end. We are going through a massive move right now that has been...
Choose your word. There's a lot of them you could use.
Let's preface this. We all get along. Mm-hmm. In that song better be in our lineup tonight.
It is.
Okay, excellent. But we all get along. We're all friends, and we're moving. We're growing. First of all, that's the most important. We are growing, and we've kind of outgrown our existing facility, which is here in Huntington, Tennessee, where we are also broadcasting live from WEIO True Country, the farm, out here in Huntington, Carroll County. But we outgrow our facility on the east end of town, and we finally found a facility that is 4 times bigger and can handle the logistics that we do on the, we'll call it south end of town. The Huntington looks like a clock, so we'll say we moved from the 3 o'clock position to the 6 o'clock position, which works because our show starts at 6. So
And it's about the same distance outside of town. It's just
it's right on the edge of town.
Just a different direction out.
Exactly.
Yep.
So we're remodeling, which means manual labor that I love doing, but I'm not a fan of anymore.
I didn't realize after you haven't done it in a while how bad it hurts you to start doing it again.
Oh yeah, and running equipment and trying to get your hands, coordinated again. And I was about to say hands dirty, but that they get dirty the first second you walk in. But I haven't run a skid steer. Well, I ran a skid steer not too long ago, but I had to run one again today on a regular basis for the first time in years. And it's like, okay, easy. Yeah. Oh God, okay, I just peed. It's like, anyways. So we've all been working long. Even Nick's been helping out.
Yeah.
You've been getting pretty dirty.
I'm nasty.
We had about an inch deep of resin that needed to be hammered chiseled out.
Yep.
And I got a great picture of it. We'll have to put it on the Back to the Lodge social media.
You took a picture?
Absolutely. You were Indian style, sitting on that nasty floor.
And I had no shirt on.
Not that time.
Not that time?
Well, I'm sure we got one without a shirt on.
Oh, gosh.
Our shirts were gone by a certain time. I don't take mine off, but it's against the law. I have to have a bra on to take my shirt off. But it's just been crazy work and long nights. I think everybody, by the time you leave, you just sit your butt down and you're like,
Yeah.
But we're starting to see the big picture, and you see the progress now, and it's like, okay, we see the vision. It's cleared out. It's a huge facility. And the guys we're working with are just really, really great guys. Everybody's tired, but everybody's shares the same goals and values. So all good stuff. But this week, we're going to be updating you on what we're doing here at Back to the Lodge. We got some really crazy stuff coming up, also tied in with Icey-Tek USA, who presents the show to you every Wednesday night here in Tennessee. And now, I need a drum roll thing. We need to have like a drum roll sound bit.
I need to get you one.
But we just found out this week on iTunes, our show had just like, I don't even know how many hundred. It was like 200 downloads in what, 2 hours, 4 hours yesterday.
Yeah.
So I think the number I got was like 781 yesterday.
Something like that, yeah.
And we haven't really even marketed it yet. So it has just taken off like wildfire. Not just here in the States, but globally. That's a global platform. So super blessed.
And it's been up on podcasts for like a week.
Has it even been a full week yet?
And irregardless to how the time frame, the fact is we haven't marketed.
Right.
Period.
Well, actually, no, it hasn't been a full week because remember when we were on last week's episode, was the 9/11 episode, and it wasn't on iTunes yet because it had to do something, and same with Spotify.
Right.
So
I had found it on Apple Podcast, couldn't find it on Spotify, couldn't find it on a few other things.
I couldn't even find it on Thursday.
Yeah.
But by now I can find it. And now I'm getting even updates on my phone. It's like, hey, there's a new episode. I'm like, yeah, no crap, I did it. Right. But it's neat. It's cool. It was a passion project that just absolutely blew up. But this week we're kind of shifting gears because we got so much stuff going on outside the studio. Look, we don't get paid for this. We don't do this for money. We're here having fun. And we do work normal jobs and work all the time. So what we did is we didn't want to commit a guest this week. We like to try to have a guest every week, but we didn't want to commit a guest because our schedules are just so crazy. And one of the things that I speak about all across the country is on mindset, positivity, and subconscious control. So we decided that I got voluntold, and I'm going to share some of those techniques with our listeners on this grand episode 7. But before we do that, we got some news and sponsors to take care of that we love dearly. So you're listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
Hey, let's just be honest. No one can ever completely beat a mature whitetail census. But if you play your cards right, you can fool them. Now, for all the work you put in to getting this close, make sure the camo you choose is up to the task. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
Icey-Tek now has tumblers and apparel. Check out Icey-Tek.com or visit the Hardware House in Huntingdon, Bennett's Hardware of McKenzie, or Rev Power Sports in Jackson to find all your Icey-Tek coolers and accessories. Icey-Tek, the classic roto-molded cooler that started an entire industry. 100% veteran-owned and operated. Icey-Tek, USA.
100.9 The Farm. We are back to the lodge. So we wanted to tell everybody that, hey, we are moving. We're growing. Everything's great. Apparently there was some communication control to have to put out there that we are doing well. And, we're not breaking a lease or anything like that. All these crazy rumors out there.
Small town rumors.
Oh, my goodness, yeah. Small town USA. It's amazing how much people will talk negative instead of positive to help see people succeed. It is mind-blowing to me. But, I always say, look, the easiest control is to go to the source. And if the source has proof, it's over. So, any case, I don't even want to get into that because it's a waste of our time. But, we've now are moving down south of Huntingdon. And we love the community here. I even hate to say it, but we actually like our politicians here too.
Right.
We get along with them pretty good. They're great help. Our county mayor's been great. Our councilmen have been great. Everybody's been great. So we're very blessed. We got to grow. And if we don't, we were going to get smothered in coolers.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, we were going to be on top of each other. So yeah, we got to grow, and we're doing more media marketing into 2021. And part of which we just found out today, actually. We had a really long conference call, which is kind of the norm now with COVID, is the conference calls and Zoom calls. I am just blessed that they're not the video Zoom calls because then you have to actually get dressed. And
well, we've done some of those too.
Oh, yeah. But I didn't have to shave or any of that kind of stuff. I was able to just kind of sit in the truck with the air conditioning running. But anyways, we had a great call. And Icey-Tek will be very extensively available. And I don't want to say anything more than that. To our West Coast friends from California all the way up through the border up towards Vancouver, and potentially Alaska. So our distribution has opened wide up for the West Coast, which was not really a big market for us because I really don't know.
Maybe Alaska, because there is a ton of commercial fishing and stuff up
I see
there,
that, and I'm saying we didn't do it before.
Right.
It just wasn't cost prohibitive, but this is going to be a big game changer for the West Coast. So we are looking forward to welcoming our West Coast friends who are really having a hard time with these fires right now. I think it's very underplayed because of COVID, the elections, Hurricane Sally. What else?
Well, I mean, just the fires that
Dancing
they
with the
have
Stars.
every year. It almost becomes the same dance where the story doesn't play as well the 7th, 8th, 9th time you've heard it, but it is still the case. It is still what's going on,
And it's
bad,
pretty widespread. I mean, my folks in Ohio could see the haze last night from the California fires. I mean, it's reached that part of the atmosphere, or whatever sphere it's in.
Right.
But they are getting the smoke up there in Ohio now, and it's like, well, I didn't personally notice it. I'm looking out the window right now. I turned away from my microphone, but I don't see it here. But yes, it's pretty bad. And I talked to them on the phone, and some of them are in real danger. I mean, they're moving around quick, and nobody really knows which way the wind's going to move tomorrow. So our prayers go out to them on the West Coast. But that was the good news for today. In our world, in our lives, we have so many things happen that take you up, bring you down, take you up, bring you down. And, you do get better at handling things over time. And I think, man, I'm going to pull you on this one. From a veteran perspective, we go through so much hell to so many different degrees that you just it's not that you get numb. You just emotionally handle things a lot better and use your head instead of your emotions, because truthfully, I get you killed. So we've been through a lot lately, and we thought, you know what? We bring guests on the show to talk about how getting outdoors really helps them. And you've heard me talk about on the show in the past about finding the things you're grateful for every day. And I'm just curious, if any of our listeners have started doing that. And if they have, message us on Facebook or Instagram. We want to hear your story because it does work. But you got to do it every day. And it's not to make a program sound so regiment, but you have to every night write down 3 things you're grateful for. And after about 90, 120, 180 days, it is like involuntary. Your life will change. And I've heard people's success stories from this. I've had people call me even in like 10, 14 days. And like, oh my gosh, it worked. It hasn't been that long yet. Like, if you had that much of an effect in 14, go longer. Just keep going, because that just means you have a lot more capability within you. Don't sell. It's kind of like quitting smoking, right? Well, I went 2 weeks. Well, keep going, Things happen. But it is a consistency, repetition. You do so many things so many times. As a habit, it becomes a behavior. So many times as a behavior, it becomes a lifestyle. And we can change those words up however you want to change those words up. But you have to do it every single night. If you miss a night, it literally screws up this rhythm. I'm not a doctor, but it will screw up this repetition rhythm in your body, and it's not as effective. But those little things, that subconscious mindset, Nick, we talked about, when you get a new car or a new truck, and you go out a lot and you go drive home, you're like, hey, he's got a new truck. Wait a minute, he's got a new truck. Matt's got a new. Why does everybody have a new truck? I don't feel that important. Because now you're thinking about new trucks. Mm-hmm. Just like when your wife was pregnant. All of a sudden, everybody's pregnant. Yep. Well, that's because you're dealing with pregnancy every day. So you notice people who are pregnant. You naturally, subconsciously pay attention to the things that are that you think about subconsciously. And I'm sure you can think of something.
So I'm tonight on tonight's episode, I'm probably going to be asking you a bunch of questions, Patrick, about this, because although I have heard this from you before, it's still, I pop up questions. Is it fair to say, like you said, when something good happens, all of a sudden you see the good everywhere else too? Mm-hmm. But if you're down in the dump, do you see the same thing? Do you see the negative then?
You can. But that's where and this gets into a separate aspect of it called emotional intelligence. And everybody knows, I'm not going to say everybody knows. That's arrogant as hell to say. Emotional intelligence. Okay, I guess maybe let me backtrack. Let me break this down. Or as we say in the military, break it down Barney style, right?
Barney style.
So there's probably copyright on that or something. But anyways, emotional intelligence, a lot of people have actually not heard of. Some people have, especially if you're in an executive role with a company or like military special forces, they're starting to, but not starting, they have been implementing that. And what it is, it's kind of like if you've ever heard of an IQ test, which is the intelligence quotient. It assesses how intelligent you are and your capability of intelligence. Doesn't tell people if you're smart.
Right.
There's a very big difference. So that's an IQ. Okay, now we're going to talk about EQ, which is nothing to do with IQ, but I'm using it as a comparison. So the emotional intelligence, or your EQ, is assessed by an assessment, just like the IQ test, by an assessment called an EQI, Emotional Intelligence Quotient 2.0 is what the actual tool is called. And it's administered by this company that has the technology on it called an MHS. I want to say it's been around for 40 years now. This is nothing new. And what it does is it analyzes a person's ability to process information with different aspects of their life, including empathy. And it starts with your self-perception. How do you view yourself? The next step is your self-projection. How do you project yourself to others? You've got to get those two things to equal. So if you're portraying yourself to be someone you're not, or you don't know who you are and portraying who you want to be, you're going to have a lot of problems in the next few parts. So once you figure out who you are, and there's methods and tools, and we just don't have enough time to go into all that, but I encourage people to research it. But once you know who you are, and it's based on your values, who you are as a person, and my values are goofy. I won't get into that today, but it is basically being fearless, intelligence, and teamwork. I call it FIT, F-I-T. So I know I like fearless decisions. I make a decision, I commit to the decision, I own the decision. That's the fearless part. Use intelligence. Learn everything you can learn. And learn something every day. If you can learn about business, if you can learn about mental health, if you can learn about the environment, the economy, whatever it is, learn. Mm-hmm. And then teamwork. I'm a firm believer, and this is proof right here, guys. Working with a solid team leads to my values and success. So right here, my team, I got Nick and Matt. We're here live. I'm back to the lodge. So that's my values. Just to give you an example. They're not going to be the same for everybody. Not even close. But once you figure out your values, now you know your self-perception, then your self-projection. How do you carry yourself? How do you present yourself? How do you speak to others? Do you understand their perception and how you speak to them? So when you're speaking to someone, are you speaking to them, at them, down to them, up to them? How are you speaking to them? In being aware of that. When those two things align, this magical thing happens. And it's going to make perfect sense. That your decision-making, your stress management, and your interpersonal relationships are all crystal clear. And people will think that you're numb, and that's where the military stuff comes in. Because in the military, you learn who you are real quick. Especially depending on your job, you're really going to learn who you are real quick. And there's a lot of jobs you go out there and do, and you don't want to do it. Maybe you're not even allowed to tell people you're there for a different reason, but you're there and you're going to do your job. And you know who you are. And if you don't, you're going to learn real quick. But then you got to project yourself. So you know who you are because that rank is on your collar or your sleeve. You're going to know who you are, where you stand. Now, aligning those two things, finding their values, then everything else is easier. Their decision management, their stress management, all of that makes sense in the field when you're deployed. So in the executive world, they have that tool called the EQI, and they're going to analyze all those little points we talked about on a scale system. How much empathy you have when you encounter this in this situation. Do you feel Johnny's late for work? Do you punish Johnny, write up Johnny, sit down and ask Johnny what's going on at home? Do you all these different options? And they let the people answer the questions, and you base the assessment. Okay, I'm going to take a break because when we're here at this show, we've got a heck of a view of the woods, and beautiful deer just ran out. This is back to the lodge. This is what we talk about. So we're enjoying the deer right behind us. I wish we had that on video, but
Maybe that's what I was doing.
Oh, no, you weren't.
Yes, I was.
Oh, okay. So anyways, they take all the points, and for a company, if you want an executive coach to come in and do these assessments, They're going to map out your superstar. Who's your best your performer? They can look at the data points of that person and help you hire the person that matches who they are. Mm-hmm. Wow, it's like magic. Can you imagine hiring nothing but superstars? You know how much money that saves companies? Look, companies pay big money to find that information out. Mm-hmm. Fortune 500 companies, I can't think of a single one that doesn't do it. You know, they do the other assessments where they look at, you know, if you're an introvert, you know, stuff like that. But this assessment is much different. So anyways, learning your EQI is super, super important in doing all of this, as far as figuring out, you know, what you're grateful for, making decisions. Your life just makes more sense. Folks that don't understand that are going to be frustrated. And that's fine. But if you can grow those around you, and I'm going to go ahead and defer to you, Matt. Uh-oh. You know, if you can grow those around you and what you learn from the other people that bring those up, what would you say how that has affected you? Just being around me, how has that affected you?
Well, very, very easy.
And your job's on the line, by the way.
I'm not going to go into the details of this, of what me and Nick were talking about prior to the show.
I brought you food, just remember that.
But I was explaining something to Nick about how business works. And Nick said something very small about how I just can't believe how far ahead of himself, me and you, Patrick, are. How much further ahead me and you are than Nick. I said, well, Nick, you gotta understand, a year ago...
Be glad I wasn't here. I would have smacked you.
A year ago, I was probably further behind than Nick is today. Mm-hmm. But when you talk about that projection, you know, I see the same thing when I talk to Jim, our new regional sales rep. He'll ask me a question, and it's a question that I've asked you before, Patrick. I've asked you about, you know, whatever that scenario is.
Sure.
And my answer that I'm giving him is something that was projected upon me. It's something that I heard and now understand, and now I'm sending that back out into the world. And Jim seems to think I'm really intelligent. So I've got him faked. I've got a few people faked.
Your phone's going to start ringing in a second.
But it's that projection. For me, it's the easiest way to learn is by shadowing, you know, sort of what I'm supposed to be doing. And fortunately for me here at Icey-Tek, I was shadowing you for a while. Now you just sort of throw things at me now and say, figure it out. But
yeah, well, I mean, I love to. One of the greatest things that I like to do when I'm, especially with a protege or a new employee or even just a friend to a certain degree, is helping them see perceptions and perspectives from multiple different angles. So when you're approaching somebody, you're talking to somebody, or like stress management, decision making. I love this too, because if you're having a debate with somebody or an argument, being able to be rational in the argument is huge. Was that Jim?
Yep. Yep. I can't read what he said though.
Okay, well that'll be. We'll have to have the Facebook or social media edition for that clip. We'll make sure that goes live. Maybe.
Yeah.
But I mean, this didn't happen overnight. I didn't learn this overnight, and truthfully, I had to hit rock bottom to get where I'm at today. And what I mean by that is, you know, I'm not going to sit here and get in the stereotypes like, oh, it takes blood, sweat, and tears, and yeah, that's true. But it also takes an uncanny ability to go, I want to learn. That is the biggest discipline in the world, because what do? We're raised to go to school. They send you home with homework, which the more I think about it, I hate homework to a degree, because I understand that it teaches you to have discipline, research, and follow through. I get that. It's not what you do, it's why you do it. But it's kind of like when your kid screws up at home and you say, I want you to write 500 sentences, I will not do this. You're making them hate writing. So school and our education system, and tie that in with social media, has taught us to hate learning. Mm. That is not good.
Not only that, but they also taught you that you don't have to develop this big, massive storage in your brain because you can look anything up.
Right. Well, and let's look at college and university. So college teaches you how to learn. They teach you how to learn.
Correct.
That's why people with degrees, most people don't work in their degree field. I have a degree in aeronautics. I don't fly. I could, but I don't. I mean, it teaches you how to learn how to structure your life. But the pressure of that deadline gets to so many years with really no reprieve to come back. I think when people leave school, especially college, and come back on their own accord, 10 times better performers, especially when they're paying for it themselves. I left college after 3 years. I had like a 2.0 GPA. It was horrible. I went back and had a 3.85. But I cared. It was different. It was a whole different psyche. So you have to want to learn. So that was number one. So if you say, look, I'm sitting at home, I'm miserable, I'm depressed, I can't understand why this keeps screwing up, and just can't get it together. You have to sit there and go, am I willing to learn something? Am I going to open up my mind, stop saying I'm right all the time, and learn something new? And that's what it took for me. And it took one of the best behavioral scientists in the world, who I was super lucky enough to get to know 3 years ago. Wow, 3 years ago. And work under her for almost 6 months straight. And her and Dr. Relly Nadler wrote a lot of the books on emotional intelligence. I think I even showed you one of them. Yep. I just got recently. She signed and sent to me. And they really break this down. And I had to learn it. I learned it the hard way. So every decision was like a mind game. And I'm like, this is so hard. So what do you want to do today? Now here, let's play this game. You ready, Matt? What do you want to do tomorrow?
I want to go fishing.
Why do you want to go fishing?
Because I enjoy it.
What part of it do you enjoy?
Just being outside and not, necessarily stuck to that place that you have to be, and figuring out, how to catch what you're out there for.
Oh. So how are you going to go? How are you going to get to fishing?
Well, me and you are going to get in the truck tomorrow.
Why are we taking a truck?
Because that's what you have.
Which way do you want to go?
South.
Which road? There's a lot of roads.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. MapQuest. People don't use that anymore.
But you just gave them a free plug.
Yeah.
Does that even work anymore?
I don't know.
But that's what it is. Everything is a question.
Sure.
Everything. And, I had to understand what's the difference between a psychologist and a consultant and a coach. That was really hard to learn the differences between them all. Like, the psychologist will ask you, why do you want to go to the mall? The consultant says, how do you want to go to the mall? And the coach is like, which route or which bike are you going to take to the mall? Very different ways of looking, 3 different ways of looking at a situation. There was a great example, and while I was going through this training, this gentleman was speaking at a Memorial Day event in Philadelphia. Well, no, outside of Philadelphia. And he got up on stage and he told this really off-color joke about people that were paraplegic. And you could have heard a pin drop. Everybody was like, why would you make a joke about crippled veterans? Like, how crude are you? And he stepped out from behind the podium and he had no legs. And then you immediately feel the chemical release in your body go from uncomfortable with muscle tension to an immediate release of that muscle tension. And you exhale and you're like, what just happened to me? You know what happened. You saw a different perception, but you physically felt the chemical change of the hormones and the hormones and the chemicals in your body dump, just like fight or flight syndrome. It's called norepinephrine. And when norepinephrine's released, you either fight, flight, or freeze. And they say all the time, people can talk about gunfights and whatnot. Until they're in it, you don't know what they're going to do. Period. So it's that same response. Now, recognizing that response and how to control it is also what they're teaching to combat operatives. So I scare you, Nick, which I did just a little bit ago.
Yes, you did.
I slapped the counter and I swear you pooped over there. Okay, that was your norepinephrine dumping in your body, right? Now your heart rate went up immediately. Okay. Like instantaneously, your heart rate went from probably 60 beats per minute to 100,000. I don't know. It's something crazy for you, but probably 100, 150, 160, right?
Yeah.
But how long does it take it from the 150, 160 to come back down to 60? You go up real fast,
Right.
but it takes a while to come down.
Right.
When your emotional intelligence is more solid, that chemical dump and that recognition of it, you can control that down much faster. Mm-hmm. And we're all learning from it. It's all really neat stuff. So I encourage you to look up emotional intelligence. But I do want to add a couple things. One, you know what? No, I'm not. Let's take a break. I didn't even get a signal. I'm just like looking at the clock. I'm like, yeah, we'll take a break. You're listening to Back to the Lodge on
100.9 The Farm.
Get up. Woo! Look at there.
This moment was brought to you by Higdon Outdoors, a leader in the waterfowl industry for over 25 years. Check us out at HigdonOutdoors.com. Higdon Outdoors has been helping waterfowl hunters make the most of their time in the field for over 25 years. We are a family-owned company, and we're proud to serve duck and goose hunters just like you. We make high-quality, innovative decoys and hunting products that you can afford, helping you focus on what's really important. Check us out at HigdonOutdoors.com. Innovation, quality, customer service. That's Higdon Outdoors. Get real. Get Higdon.
Usually right about now, we'd be playing some music, but due to restrictions and copyrights, we can't allow music to play. So if you'd like to hear music in between breaks, tune in every Wednesday evening from 6 to 9 p.m. Central and hear us live at backtothelodge.com. Click the Listen Now button and you'll be back to the lodge.
This country was born to believe in something larger than itself, a belief that the citizens within it could accomplish anything. From defeating an empire to sending a man to the moon, we built cities, formed the land, and through this an original spirit was born. It has forged friendships, been celebrated, and at times been the cause of debate. We might not always agree, but there is one thing we can all agree on: love of country and love of a fine bourbon. America Bourbon, vet-owned and made proudly in the USA, available nationwide at most leading retailers and at americabourbon.com.
100.9 The Farm. We are back to the lodge.
I don't know why you just made that voice.
I don't either. I was trying to clear my throat.
I don't like it.
So I'm like,
I don't like
it's
it.
like right before we come back. Usually you're like hacking up like a cat coughing up a hairball.
I just want you to stop making those noises. I've got to spend a lot of time with you over the next few days. I just want you to come back to normal.
I need to get better at, look, like ever since we started radio, I've been learning, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm learning how to be a better storyteller for radio. So right before we normally come back from a break, Matt sits on, we'll call it, it's not a bar stool, but it's like a bar stool.
It's also not comfortable. Whatever. We're not going to get into that.
But his feet are, there's a rung on a bar stool, and he stands up and he kicks his feet up onto the bar stool and squats. And then he grabs the bar stool and he leans over and arches his back out and goes,
Approximately 13% of that was true.
See, I'm learning. That's radio. And I'm a handsome guy. 13% of that is true.
Is it a guy part that was true or the handsome part? Too easy. Too easy.
Walks right
I was
into
going to
that
find
one.
something to throw at you, but all I have is this jar of blue cheese dressing.
Please don't. Please don't.
Oh, wait, here we go. Koozie time. So anyways, so some of the other things that we want to talk about when it comes down to mindset in the actual breakdown is also in your behavioral habits. So I want everybody to think, you two are insane. I have to take another break from the show because both of you are taking a drag on your vape pens, and I can hear in my headset.
I'm not.
I saw you crouched over. Maybe you're picking your nose.
But true to color.
Not
So
this again.
I want you to think of everybody in your life as a cup. And you got liquid in the cup. And the cup is liquid energy. And every morning you wake up and your cup is perfectly half full. Not half empty. Not the cup's too big, but half full. Okay? Mm-hmm. You interact with several people throughout your day. But on average, you interact with 5 people in your life. More than anybody. I want you to identify who those 5 people are in your life that you interact with the most. Those people will fill your cup up with energy, and you feel better after you spend time with them. There are people that take from your cup. So everybody's walking around every day just pouring in somebody else's cup, or they're pouring it in yours. If the 5 people in your life are all taking from your cup, you're not going to be prepared to do any of this transition stuff. You have to make a conscious, sometimes painful decisions to distance yourself from those people. They could be friends, they could be employers, they could be coworkers, they could be family. I mean, hell, even for adults, they could be kids. They're your kids, you know. Love your family, but sometimes you have to love people from a distance. And that's a painful thing to do. But at the end of the day, you control your happiness. Nobody in this world controls your happiness. So if you're not happy, in the words that come out, the next words out of your mouth when somebody asks you why are, well, because so-and-so does this, or so-and-so did, you're wrong. You're in denial. Shut up. Stop it. Just stop it. You are responsible for your happiness. If you're not happy, it's your fault. Own that crap. Own it. Once you can own it and you can name it, then you can tame it. And that is a good friend of mine's favorite thing to say. If you can name it, you can tame it. So own the fact that you're not happy. It's your fault. If you want something bad enough, commit to it. Nothing should stop you from what you want and what you want to do. Look, when we got involved in Icey-Tek years ago, it was not pretty. There were nights I slept on the floor of an office with no heat in the middle of winter. There were nights I slept in my vehicle. I was homeless. There was periods where I was homeless. There was heartache. There was all kinds of things that happened. But the one thing I was not going to give up on was this company and the families that we were helping. Because every year I'd go see what that was doing for those families, for the Navy SEALs Fund, for the Gold Star family. You can't put any price or collateral on that freaking emotion. I mean, you are giving a family that lost their child that grief counseling. You're giving that traumatic brain injury veteran health treatment. You're helping his family maybe update their home so his wheelchair or her wheelchair can get in and out of that house. Look, when you're caring for a loved one every single day that has a serious medical issue and they're former military, there's not a lot of residual income. There's disability. There may or may not be retirement, depending on how long they were in. But usually that significant other's not working. They might get a little bit from the VA to cover some things, but there's no quality of life. There's no family vacations. There's no, the car, the tires went on the car. I can't even get to the VA. Okay, well, you can call this 1-800 number and maybe we'll get a bus to come pick you up. Maybe we won't. Maybe we don't answer the phone that day. Maybe our phones don't work. That is not uncommon stuff. So you've got to own everything because I did. That didn't sound right. You don't have to own everything because I did. You should own everything because you want to change as much as I wanted to change. And once you can commit to all those things that we just talked about, it's easier to change the 5 people that you surround yourself with. What about you, Matt? You've been doing this now for 7 months?
9 full-time.
Okay. So in 9 months, learning what you learn now and learning all the different perspectives of people we work with, deal with, from the public to in-house to celebrities to everything we've worked with, and you've got to see all these different perspectives. Would you say subconsciously you've changed your circle of 5?
Oh, no doubt. No doubt.
I didn't mean to put you on the spot, but I knew, knowing you over the last year, like how much you have grown and changed.
Well, and I think a big thing is, has my 5 changed? Yes, it has. Mm-hmm. But the people that I previously had in that 5, they're still in my 25.
Sure.
But they're not the people that I am maybe necessarily leaning on every day.
Well, and it's hard for us, and Nick knows this now. We've got a great circle of friends.
Yes.
I mean, our little group, I guess you call it a clique, of friends here in Huntington are just solid group of folks. I mean, and we're always bouncing around from each other's house, and everybody cooks, which I love because I love to eat everything. food, barbecue. If anybody's barbecue, I'm in. I'm in. So it's a good group of folks. But all these things are commitments that you have to make. And they're tough commitments. You're going to go through certain hell several days. Sleepless nights. Tears of joy, tears of pain, tears of sorrow. And your environment plays a huge role in how that success pays out. A lot of people find happiness when they travel because you can turn off the white noise. It's like getting outdoors. You turn off the everyday noise and you have routine noises. A lot of people don't understand this too. If your routine noise is the alarm on your phone waking you up in the morning, change your alarm to something else for one day and tell me how you feel when you wake up in the morning. You can actually wake up more peaceful or more angry depending on what the alarm was that woke you up. There's a reason why we have 50, 60 different choices for alarms on our phones. And most people just listen to one they think is cool, and that's what they go with. But they've never tried to wake up with a different alarm. Try it. Take your phone, change your alarm on like a Saturday. If you like to sleep in till like 8 or 9 on a Saturday, or some people like to sleep in even later than that, like set your alarm to a different time and see how you physically feel with a chemical bounce when you wake up. It's amazing what that can do for you. How are we looking, Nick?
I think we can take a break.
We can take a break?
Yeah.
This is very long-winded. So we're going to take a quick break for station ID because it's the top of the hour. You are listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
Hey, let's just be honest. No one can ever completely beat a mature whitetail census. But if you play your cards right, you can fool them. Now, for all the work you put in to getting this close, make sure the camo you choose is up to the task. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
When you purchase an Icey-Tek cooler, not only are you getting the best and original Rotomold cooler for your barbecue, your kid's graduation party, or maybe even the boat, but your proceeds from that purchase go on to help Gold Star families receive grief counseling retreats so they can heal and get a little piece of their heart back. So they can have the same quality of life that we share. Icey-Tek, USA.
I can see that better. 100.9 The Farm. We are back to the lodge. So our lovely production cued my microphone a little early. So Matt was asking me, why'd you move over here? I can see the monitor a little better.
We had 1 second in the song left.
Well, whatever.
Well, that's why I had to move over here so I can see my monitor better.
Well, you would know if we had 1 second left.
Children.
Because you have a monitor.
Children.
You know what's funny now, though? I can't see Nick.
Perfect. I'm going to move over there by you.
Wait a minute.
Wow.
There's that 13% again. So anyways, I think I'm a little loud. You got me?
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. So I think that, we pretty much summarized, I guess the best I can, the whole mindset thing. That's kind of our shtick. So I wanted to share that with you guys. What?
I just can't see you. I like to look at you when you talk.
I bet you do.
Wow. Way to make that weird.
Weird? Last time I looked behind this monitor, you were knuckle deep in your nose.
No, I was not.
Look on Facebook.
Right. There it is.
You know what? I'm going to shut up.
Perfect.
Nick, tell us, what's a special talent that you have that we don't know about?
Well, you figured out the going knuckle deep. So that can't.
Oh, God.
That can't count.
You're right. We know that one.
Yeah. So it's not that one, but you okay?
No. Okay.
Let me think.
And I can play guitar. I can play piano. We all know that. But did you know that I can play the drums as well?
No, but I'm not surprised.
Oh, so do I need to keep going?
You're like a musical Mary Poppins, the male version.
I don't know about that.
I mean, well, I don't remember her ever playing instruments. She sang. It was a musical. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I've heard you play the guitar. I've seen you play the piano.
Yeah.
We've heard you sing. Obviously, we play your music on our show.
I got very good at Guitar Hero.
Doesn't surprise me.
You know what else he was really good at? If you go into YouTube and search Nick Conder,
Oh, no.
there is a karaoke video of him in there. That is
God,
hilarious.
No.
Yeah,
Please don't.
There's a special talent. Karaoke.
That is not my talent.
But
What is yours, Matt?
I don't know. I've been trying to think of one.
You knew it was coming, didn't you?
I'm also trying to make something up that you can't fact check me on. I'm having a hard time with that too.
Yeah, I'll call your wife. What is Matt's real special talent? No, never mind. I'm not calling your wife. That's glutton for punishment. So nothing else, Nick? Just
I feel like everything I'm good at, you already know.
All two things.
Wow. Wow.
I'm just gonna let that one go. He's a good button pusher.
He is.
He's a good button pusher.
Well, we know that.
And you're learning electrical now.
Well,
little bit.
Continuously, yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Learn faster.
Wow.
Yeah, we have more things to do.
Wow.
We have more stuff to do. Come on, Matt.
We're trying to get into the new building.
You gotta dig deeper. You guys have learned more about me than ever, but what's something people don't know about you?
I don't honestly know. I mean, I know that they don't know a lot of things. I don't know what things I can say.
Well, this is the Meet Us show, we'll call it. So, Justin, I hope you mark that down. He's our post-production editor. So,
I mean, my parents think that before I was 10, that I had put on more miles snowmobiling than anybody else in the nation. Because I grew up doing that. That's not a talent, though. That's just something they don't know.
You said miles?
Miles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, probably around 10,000 a year. That's a lot.
That's an achievement. I wouldn't say that's a talent. That's like that's an achievement.
Well, you know, I still do that. I still, every year I go up there, and we're already planning the trip for this February where I'm going to go up there and spend my 3 days on the trails again. I don't know. I've just always been an outdoorsman. So when it comes to achievements or skills that you don't know, I mean, that's what we always talk about is the outdoor stuff. So you know a lot of what I've done.
And the other stuff we can't really.
Right. I'm a fast learner. I like long walks on the beach.
You can pee anywhere.
I can. I can.
You ever seen that show, Nick, called Big Bang Theory?
Yes.
And Sheldon Cooper's like, at 7:00, that's my bathroom time. That's when I make number 2. That's Matt. Like, religiously, gotta go.
Yep.
I'm envious.
As religious as that is, Patrick is also as religious of making sure that he has a camera on me when I'm going, which is super weird.
That has been twice, and that was while filming fishing.
That's also too many times.
Which we'll be doing that this weekend,
Yes, we
too.
will.
So if you decide to take a leak off the side of the boat and cameras are rolling, they're not stopping.
I'm sure I will at some point.
Well, then there's going to be footage. Stick around for the blooper reel.
Do you think that they'd be upset if I did that during the dinner cruise?
It depends on which way you're facing. If you're aiming inboard, yes. If you're aiming outboard, it depends on who's passing you on the port side. If it happens to be the skipper from Gilligan's Island, you'll be okay. But if it's the dinner cruise for the specific person's campaign donation fundraiser, you might still be okay.
I don't want to quite get into our travels coming up yet. I think we say that for the 3rd hour because I don't want people to get jealous and jump off the air.
No. This is going to be a well-needed weekend as well as very productive.
Yes.
A lot of great things coming up in the works.
Well, we're very fortunate in the fact that our business is an outdoor business.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the meetings and the personalities and the people that we have to meet, a lot of times these are centered around outdoor activities.
Mm-hmm.
So to your average person, well, I mean, heck, even to me still, when I found out about where some of these meetings are going to be, I got excited, not only for the meeting, but for the thing, because it is what we do and what we like anyways. But it's just fortunate that our business meetings happen in places that we truly enjoy. So this is going to be a fun one. And like you said, well needed.
It is. And I mean, I'm trying to think back, all the things we've done, like let's have a meeting down in the pit at NASCAR in Bristol. Like, right. Let's have a meeting on this boat while we're fishing. Let's have a meeting while hunting. Let's have
private party at a very exclusive restaurant.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Well, I mean, that wasn't very outdoorsy.
Well, we ate things that were
they were eventually
outside.
Outdoorsy. Yeah. That steak was amazing, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, look, there's so much value in the outdoors and in your quality of life. I will take, and this doesn't sound cliche or stereotypical or any of that mumbo jumbo, pick your, fill in the blank, but I will still to this day pick a campfire and a steak over an open charcoal grill over a fancy dress up dinner and a movie in a big city. Mm. There's nothing wrong with it. And occasionally, yeah, I like to look pretty. But yeah, I'll do that.
There goes that voice again.
I was trying to help you.
I like
with
to look pretty.
Yeah. Like
that was really good.
Like as pretty as Nick's glamour shot, or
ooh,
slightly
I forgot
below
about
that.
that.
Hey,
hey, wait, that's my new talent. Oh, I'm gonna sound like Nick.
Ooh.
Oh. So he's making out with the microphone. Oh.
I'm gonna cut you off. The other cliche saying that I'm gonna say is, because you guys are annoying, is people always say, and a day in the water is better than a day in the office.
Oh my gosh.
For us, it's so nice that sometimes a day on the water is our office.
Mm-hmm.
That
is hands down. So look, I here's one of people like to set like New Year's resolutions. I'm not a fan. I do think it's cool that people want to use that as. There's Matt with his vape pen. If I swear to God, if I turn around and hear this. I'm gonna lose it.
It's after the show.
But anyways, I lost my train of thought.
I don't even know where you were going.
You took a drag on that vape pen. I can hear it in my headset. Like, everybody just changed the station just now.
Yeah.
What the heck am I listening to?
Don't worry, guys. We don't know either.
Beavis and Butthead in the evening. But no, we're talking about New Year's resolutions, and I think it's cool that people want to set goals for certain dates. But when I have life changes, which I just recently went through, and different story. I try to look back and go, what can I do to improve myself? Where can I improve? And I want to have more fun in my life. I am very serious, and I am committed to what I do, but I want to be more fun about it. So, there's a time and place to be serious. There's a time and place to have fun. I need to capitalize more and have fun. And Matt, I love you to death. You've been great about this and saying, look, let your hair down. We're going to have fun this weekend.
What hair?
People can't see me. I have facial hair. It's sexy too. 13% of it. But no, I think, like, look, I do like funny voices and stuff. I want to be able to make people laugh a little bit more. And I think laughter is such a great gift. And that's one of the reasons why I told Nick, I was like, look, I don't pick the songs. Nick, I actually got a text from my dad. He goes, do you pick the songs? No, I don't pick the songs. Nick picks the songs, hopefully before we get here. Occasionally, we pick the songs. But I did pick one song tonight, and that was the...
Get Along?
Yeah, Get Along by Kenny Chesney, because God, we need that so much right now. With everything going on, stop. When you look at somebody and you see their eyes, they could be hurting deep down inside. Don't judge them. Just get along with them.
Mm-hmm.
Buy a boat, drink a beer, sing a song. Yeah, you say, because you got a better voice.
Get along.
There you go. There's that 13%. So, we were going to say you do 33% of the work on the show, but 13%.
Mm.
Every time, So what people don't know is one day, every time Nick says, we get a bill for $13.
Oh.
No.
At a certain point, when I can learn how to hit those little buttons back there, we could just have a little box of buttons that I push that are just Nick's different noises.
His Marine Corps noises.
Yellow's my favorite crayon.
It tastes like lemon.
I love you guys.
We know. All right, so we definitely have a lot going on, and Matt wants to save that part for the third hour. He said not to give away a lot of stuff tonight. I think we need to do a little bit.
Yeah.
So where are we at, Nick? You yellow?
Yep. We're right there.
All right, so we're going to take a break. A couple messages from our sponsors. A couple up. Ooh. Is that John Party?
Yep.
Yeah, John Party. Okay, so we're going to have some uplifting, fun music coming up.
That's right.
Look, we're going to do a tumbler giveaway. Okay. Obviously, this is not local. So if you're tuning in live from anywhere, and I guess it has to be America. So, because I can't ship international, my FedEx isn't set up that way. So if you're in the lower 48, let's keep it lower 48 for right now. And you want to win an Icey-Tek, let's do a tumbler. We'll do a tumbler giveaway tonight.
Okay.
Be the fourth caller, but not until we'll call it the Mossy Oak. When the Mossy Oak starts, then we'll take the fourth caller at 866-708-FARM. That's 866-708-3276. Be the fourth caller right now. You'll win a tumbler. You're listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
This country was born to believe in something larger than itself, a belief that the citizens within it could accomplish anything. From defeating an empire to sending a man to the moon, we built cities, formed the land, and through this an original spirit was born. It has forged friendships, been celebrated, and at times been the cause of debate. We might not always agree, but there is one thing we can all agree on: love of country and love of a fine bourbon. America Bourbon, vet-owned and made proudly in the USA, available nationwide at most leading retailers and at americabourbon.com.
Get him! Woo! Look at there.
This moment was brought to you by Higdon Outdoors, a leader in the waterfowl industry for over 25 years. Check us out at higdonoutdoors.com. Higdon Outdoors has been helping waterfowl hunters make the most of their time in the field for over 25 years. We are a family-owned company, and we're proud to serve duck and goose hunters just like you. We make high-quality, innovative decoys and hunting products that you can afford, helping you focus on what's really important. Check us out at higdonoutdoors.com. Innovation, quality, customer service. That's Higdon Outdoors. Get real. Get Higdon.
Okay, 100.9 The Farm. We are back to the lodge. And, gosh, I hate it when this happens. So,
But it happens all the time.
yes, okay. We love everyone. We do. We really, really do. We love all of our friends, all of our family. We are so grateful that you support us. We really are.
I think because our show seems to be as erratic as it is, that people don't think we have rules.
We do. So you can't win more than once every 30 days. Rule number one. It's not our rule. It's a sweepstakes rule for the station. It is, right, Nick? 30 days?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, 30 days.
30 days is a sweepstakes rule for the station. That's not ours, but we play by that rule. We stay between the lines. But our rule, rule number 2, is no employees, friends, family, parents. If you had more than 2 beers with us or raised us, you're out. If you're married to my warehouse manager, you're out. If you're married to my soundboard guy, you're out. If you're married to my media producer, you're out. Or if you're engaged to my media producer, you're out. If you're dating my media producer, you're out. Should I keep going? See what I did there?
You know who you are.
But we love Tanea too. She's wonderful. Yeah. So let's try this again because our phone board got crammed up with people for an entire song. So we went, we're first caller, second call. We know you. We know you. We know you. We know you. We love you guys. So the next caller, who we don't know, we'll give you a tank top and a tumbler. How's that sound? So you get a tank top for your loved one or for you. I don't care how you do it. Tank top and tumbler, 866-708-FARM, 866-708-3276. We'll be right back.
Hey, let's just be honest. No one can ever completely beat a mature whitetail census. But if you play your cards right, you can fool them. Now, for all the work you put in to getting this close, make sure the camo you choose is up to the task. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
Icey-Tek now has tumblers and apparel. Check out Icey-Tek.com or visit the Hardware House in Huntington, Bennett's Hardware of McKenzie, or Rev Power Sports in Jackson to find all your Icey-Tek coolers and accessories. Icey-Tek, the classic roto-molded cooler that started an entire industry. 100% veteran-owned and operated. Icey-Tek, USA.
100.9 The Farm. We are back to the lodge. I just got the cue from Matt on that one. Back to the lodge. Oh, man, I forgot what the heck we were going to say on the second half.
History.
Oh, so history. So we had a nice conversation today with the West Coast folks. Oh, sorry. Tracy from McKenzie won the tumbler. Forgot to announce that. Who won? Nobody we know. But anyways, so we had a good conversation with the folks on the West Coast about the history of Icey-Tek. And this goes back to 1988 when the rotomolding cooler was first invented. And it was done by, it was actually Thai Chinese family, but it was in Thailand, Thai family, that invented the process, created it, and the birth of the cooler. But it was also a lot of guys from Australia who did the engineering, and I say PFM, but we can't say PFM on the air, so it's pure magic. They created the rotomold cooler. Now, what was unique about it was when rotomolding is short for, it's actually short for rotational molding manufacturing. So that means they put this powdery chemical into a mold, stick it into a furnace, and they're constantly rotating on several different axes. So it's just, if you could imagine like a space bubble that's just rotating.
A gyroscope.
But it's gyrating in every direction possible. Yep. That's how you rotation mold. So it heats up the polyethylene. The polyethylene spreads through the mold and creates whatever the shape of the mold is. But what's different with us is that we do two skins as opposed to one skin. And it sounds just like it sounds. Two skins. So there's an outer skin. So think of like the shell of a cooler. So the outside shell is one mold. The inside shell, after insulation, is another skin. We're the only product that has two skins. So we do that, and they've been insulating with insulation, which is made out of polyurethane, high-density polyurethane, HDPE closed cell. Got it. And it makes our coolers much lighter than everybody else's, which is cool. And I'm not telling this to try to like sell the product. It's just the history of it. And that happened in Thailand in 1988. You know, congratulations. Great job. They did it. But way beyond that, where people nowadays, especially on the East Coast, West Coast, they don't care so much. East Coast does care. Where's it made? Where's it made? Where's it made? It's not made. Is it made in China? No. Most polyethylene coolers are made in China. There's a small handful of brands. Well, I want to say like at least 3 decent name brands that are made in the U.S. Super expensive. And from what I've read, the quality is par. They're not horrible, but they're good. Not great, but they're good. And I'm not taking away from them. Then you have a lot of Chinese companies. A lot of Chinese coolers are made in a factory named Coor over just outside of Ningbo, China. And that's where a lot of them get made. Why? Because it's a single skin. They make a shell, they stick a needle in it, not a needle, it's a gun, and they inject it with insulation. Kind of like when you see YouTube videos like, I turned my igloo into a rotomold cooler. Well, no, you didn't. You just insulated your cooler. Right. You can't change plastic injection. Here's the difference. When you're sticking a foam gun into a plastic injection cooler and insulating it with expanding foam, number one, that's not a high-density closed-cell polyethylene or urethane. So it doesn't have the same insulation principles. Secondly, it's if you ever looked at injection foam after it's done, you see a lot of balls, like domes. It makes this ballooning effect. So it looks like popcorn. What that is the air expanding in the simplest shape of life is a sphere. If you had no friction in the air, raindrops are spheres. Water, sphere, it gravitates together. So when air is expanding through chemical process and expansion, it's spheres, and that's why you get these little domes, look like half domes, on the outside of your insulation. And it's a nice little texture. It's ribbed. So, anyways, when that happens, when you inject that plastic injection cooler, you're leaving lots of air. What we call that in the industry is cavitation.
Cavitation. Yep.
And that's why you can go buy a cooler from any name brand that has a single skin. And I'm not going to say them. Most of them have 4 letters in their name. So, and the other ones have 5. Had to think about that. So anyways, they're injecting it. So you have lots of cavitation. So Johnny buys the cooler, goes home. And my cooler and this only happens in America, by the way.
Right.
I do want to point that only America.
And it is easily the number one question that I get on the customer service calls is what you're about to say.
Exactly.
It is by far the number one question.
It is the measuring contest. How long does it hold ice for? But Johnny's holds ice for 7 days. Jimbo buys the same cooler at the same department store. It holds ice for 12 hours. Why?
Cavitation.
Exactly.
Cavitation, Patrick, for 100.
Alex.
So, I didn't know if that... Never mind. Keep going.
I actually screwed the joke up.
I don't want to get in trouble. By the way.
So yeah, there's consistency in manufacturing. Yep. Just because it looks great and you think a name means status, does not mean it's a great product. So anyways, when we got the distributorship rights for the United States, that's the United States. It's an international brand. It's in Thailand, Vietnam, Philippines, Australia, New Zealand, South America, Mexico, Canada, UK, Spain, Portugal, Madrid is Spain, Italy, United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. It's everywhere.
And when you go to most of those, it is the name that everybody knows. It's on the back of all of the Country Boys trucks and on all the hats. It is the household name.
It is. It is the Kleenex of the rotomold cooler industry because Yeti did not exist there. They just recently went international. But in any case, that there's rhyme and reason to everything we do. So we were explaining this history, and everybody's just like, "Wow, that's so crazy." It's like, yeah, if you want to find an Icey-Tek from 2006 to 2009, it was called a Yeti Roughneck that Yeti sold. And you can go into Google and type in Yeti Roughneck, and you'll see an original Icey-Tek. And some people even have both stickers on their coolers, which is really neat. So there's the history to it. And, we don't buy somebody else's product and slap a sticker on it and go, hey, that's our cooler. No, we make our coolers. And we got a new cooler coming out. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Well, I'm going to expound on one more thing. Not only do we not just label somebody else's product, we also don't find the cheapest bidder to build said product. We're actually one of the only cooler companies that is also a manufacturer. Mm-hmm. Everybody else just finds the cheapest bidder, and I'm going to go there, which is why a lot of these big name companies have jumped from country to country, factory from factory, because they're just going with the cheaper price.
Yep.
What was the question you told me to go with?
So new molds.
Oh, yeah. Yep. We've got the technical name for this is the L2D.
L2D2. That's what we should call this. I'm sorry to chirp in, but no, we should just call it the L2D2.
You could. It still makes sense. I mean, by how the codes broke down.
Yeah.
So all right, so how do I break that down? So we have 2 coolers coming out that are in the 95 quart.
4 coolers. Well, 4 variations.
4 variations of 2 sizes, correct. So of the 95 quart and the 125 quart, which are both long box coolers, which means they are longer than they are tall. They're not cube. They'll have rope handles on the side of them. Mm-hmm. So the first variation will have a solid lid in both of these. Both the 95 and the 125, there'll be a solid lid. But when you open the cooler, dead center in the dead center of the cooler will be a hard divider. You cannot move this divider. Right in the dead center. So
it's molded in.
Yeah, it's molded in. So now you have sort of 2 coolers in one. The other variation we have for both of these will still have that permanent divider, but it also has a split lid. Mm-hmm. So you'll be able to open, I believe you can open the right side.
Usually the right
side individually or the entire lid together. And where I know that this cooler is going to do real well is for you fishermen out there, you offshore fishermen that are cut bait fishermen or chum fishermen. I mean, and that's where this came from, is people have been asking for years for a cut bait cooler where they can keep solid bait on one side and then the chunks of the bait on the other side. So we listened, and here you go.
I'm thinking, beer on one side, egg salad on the other.
Well, that's, I mean, for me and my family, that 95, I mean, where you can have food on one side, drink on the other side.
Yeah.
That's huge.
Well, and what a lot of people don't understand, and maybe I haven't explained this to you, so I will accept the fault. You see how that works? I think one of the neat things about this is in the permanent partition divider, there is a gap between the divider and the lid. This also means you can put ice storage on one side, and you can put your product dry on the other. And the water and the moisture will never touch the product unless you pick the cooler up and tip it, all the way over. But that also leaves other options. The other thing is the partition itself is insulated. So you could theoretically, now you're not going to have the retention of, put an ice cooler, seal it for 4 days, it's going to stay cold. But let's say you're going to cater a party and you need to have 2 hot dishes you need to keep hot. You put in that cooler and separate it. You could actually put a cold in one side and a hot in the other. And it would take a very long time for them to neutralize. So that's some pretty cool stuff. Yeah. And the coolers do perform up to 160 degrees interior temperature. Didn't know if you knew that.
I didn't.
160 is the break point. Where you start to have breakdown.
Do you want to release the other new thing that's coming out?
Which part?
The new color.
Oh, I don't know. Well, anyways, before we do that, yes, we can do that. But when does that cooler hit the market, Matt?
We should have our first ones in store the end of the first week of October. So call it the beginning of the second week of October. We're hoping, fingers crossed, that shipping doesn't delay.
And they should be online.
I would say by the 10th.
I'm actually thinking, 10th, 11th. So online, then eventually in stores about a week later as they get shipped out to the stores. So I'm looking forward to that cooler. We had a great talk with fishermen on a conference call today. They are stoked about this cooler. We're not going to be able to make them fast enough. We're trying. But here's the thing. We know there's a high demand. That's our commitment to our demographic. We are not going to price jack this cooler. We're just not going to do it. We could, and we can make a lot of money, and it would make sense, but we're not going to. So be patient with us, because we want to keep the price affordable for the first guy to buy it to the last guy to buy it. And that's just fair. Yep. That's the right thing to do. Now, to answer your question, there is a new cooler color, and it's a cooler color. That's catchy. I have to think about something with that.
I think it's code, or I think color code number 19, I think is where it got squeezed in.
Something like that.
Color code 19, I believe.
It is a baby blue. It's almost like Tiffany blue.
Seafoam green,
but it's
people
between
call
a teal.
it.
No, it's not. No. That's very different. The seafoam green is more of like a teal green. It's more like this.
Yeah, right.
And you can't see what I just picked up. I picked up a piece of plastic in here. But it is a light baby blue eyes. That's probably better. Baby blue eyes is this color. It is sexy. This, I saw it when it came out. They did the test run because we do what's called a flame compound finish on the cooler, which makes ours real shiny. I like shiny things. I like shiny things. Mm-hmm. And we saw the prototype and was like, whoa, this is cool.
Yep, we got to have that. Let's get that.
I don't think I can think of a car that has this color.
No, it's a very specific. It's a very, like you said, it's light.
It's blue. A very marina color.
Yeah.
I think but even marina color is a little darker. This is just I don't even know how to explain it. It is, look, it's going to be one of those items that we're just not going to keep in stock.
Right.
But I think next to white, which is a very common color for a cooler, this is going to be the next top seller as far as color.
I just thought of another thing that we have coming.
Uh-oh.
We were hoping that they were going to be in before our trip. I'm trying to give you some hints. You don't wear it often. I wear one every day.
Oh, the new hat.
Nick's wearing one right now. Yeah.
Well, he's not wearing
one. Well, no, I mean, hat in general.
That's where you lost me. I looked at Nick and I'm like,
we got the new Richardsons coming in.
The new hats are coming in, and we're going to have all the new cryptic patterns from Neptune to, is it Typhoon?
Typhoon?
Yeah. They're slick.
Yep.
So those should be in.
We were hoping this week, but I think now we're looking at next week.
But yeah, those will be available soon. Direct online or go tell your retailer to get them in stock, and we can definitely take care
I know
of that.
our local retailer is going to have them.
Yeah, he is.
They've already got some on order.
So if you're here in Carroll County, go hit up Bennett's.
No, Hardware House.
Hardware House.
Well,
Sorry.
they might carry some over there to Bennett's too.
They could. But yeah, they'll have them over there, faux sure, up in the front right corner.
Yeah, front right corner.
Up by the window. So, awesome sauce. What is Nick doing?
Sorry.
Playing on his phone.
Are you playing Candy Crush?
No.
Are we boring you?
No. I listened to everything you guys just
He
said.
looked up when you said Nick's wearing one. He's like, I have no idea what I'm wearing.
No, I was like, I don't have one of those yet.
And to be fair, he's heard all of this spiel.
Yeah.
You know, I can.
Well, I don't know if he's heard all of
Actually, I have not heard the first
think
thing
so.
about any of this new product coming in.
Dude,
And this is the first time I've heard
this is a revolutionary change for Icey-Tek. And I'm not taking credit for this. It was a that's
not the word.
I'm George Bush. It was a community idea from all the different countries and distributors, and it finally executed. It took a long time to get these ideas to execute, but when it executed, it's like, boom, revolutionary. They are hot cakes. Australia can't hold on to them. Canada can't hold on to them. They're just flying. So we get our first batch, and it's coming soon. It'll be at the new warehouse in our distribution center. It's going to be so fun.
Those should be available. Yeah, right. That second week of October is when, and I'm sure we'll make a nice social media post, announcing their arrival and availability. But I'm excited.
I am too. And you know what? We talked about doing the 5-minute fire drill. So we're going to do a 5-minute fire drill. Nick, what was that?
I don't think Nick knows what that means.
His face moved, twitched in 7 different directions at the same time. I thought we were going to call 911.
Hey, that's a talent you didn't know about.
I'm not going to touch that. But anyways, so let's do this. Let me grab my phone. Matt, you grab yours. So we're going to call this the 5-minute fire drill. You okay?
I'm kind of scared. I don't know what this is.
He's like ready to push a button. This is going to be so easy. Okay. So if you're sitting at home, look, preface. It's all about preface. If you're driving, just ignore us for the next 30 seconds, please. You can even turn the radio down. It's fine. What we're going to do right now, go on, let's do Facebook today because that's simple enough. If you're on Facebook, go to Back to the Lodge. Go to our Facebook page called Back to the Lodge and like our page. And then hit the share button. Share the page, not a post. Go, if you're looking at the actual Facebook page, and I can't do it because I manage it, but I believe if you click on the little things to the right of the blue button, it says copy link or share this page. Use that to share on your page so people can find us and listen to our silly antics every Wednesday, but it helps us grow. And what we're going to do is if you did that tonight, listening to the show, or you catch the podcast anytime this week and you heard it on here, comment on our page that you did that. And then sometime next week, we're going to put a post up called the 5-minute fire drill. And you got 5 minutes that if you followed those instructions this week and you respond because we picked your name, you just want a 120 quart Icey-Tek cooler.
Now, hold on. What if these people already like it? Can they still be entered if they just share?
Just share it, yeah. So if they already like the page, they just have to share the page.
I just want to clarify for the people out there listening going, oh, but I've already liked it.
Yeah, and you got to publicly share it. You can't have your privacy settings set to private. It's got to be public because otherwise we can't verify that you shared it.
Right. It'll just show us that it was shared 7 times, but I can't see who that person was. So you need to share that one, make that one public.
Yeah, and tell people, like the page, the page. If they follow us, you're entered, okay? And then what we'll do is we're going to give away that $400 cooler. Mm-hmm. We're just going to give it to you. We will ship it to you. If you are sitting in Bangor, Maine, we're going to ship it to you. It's 100% covered. How cool is that?
It's pretty cool.
5-minute fire drill.
Wow.
Nick didn't have to push a button.
Wow.
But you also didn't share the page, Nick.
I'm on this show.
People are already sharing. How cool is that?
I can't win
but you can still share so people see it.
Of course. Yeah.
But people are already sharing. So that's cool. So keep doing that. Just keep on sharing. And once we can see you're shared, we'll put all the names in a hat and we're going to go live on Facebook next week. You'll see either Matt or me. We might even do it from a boat. It could be... No, I just thought of this. We need to let people know. Because otherwise... Well, no.
No, you don't.
All right, well, we need to set some ground rules. Do we want to keep it during certain hours of the day?
No.
So this could be 2 o'clock in the morning?
Well, it won't be. We'll be reasonable about it.
Or we'll be up bow fishing.
Yeah, but let's be reasonable about it.
Okay, so we'll say between the hours of 9 a.m. Central
Sure.
and 8 p.m.? 8 p.m. Central.
Why don't you go 8 to 8? Let's just go
8 to 8.
8 to 8.
8 to 8, 5-minute fire drill. Okay, so what we do is we're going to go on Facebook, and you're going to see one of our ugly mugs. Because, like we said, we got faces made for radio.
Well, look, we're going to be together for the next 5-6 days. It's probably going to be both of our ugly mugs.
Yeah, it'll probably be me holding the camera because my arm's longer.
Funny.
Selfie.
Got a built-in selfie stick.
Yes, I do.
Oh, come on. Come on.
So, you hear the 5-minute fire drill. If you have your name called on that live video, you've got 5 minutes to comment on that video. And if you do, you won that $400. Is it $400 or $500? $400 cooler. It is a beast. And it's yours. It's that simple.
Yep.
So now my phone's vibrating too much and I turned it down. So that's cool. All right. We're going to take no, we're not. We got only a few minutes and we got to go to station ID. So Nick, take it away.
Yeah.
And that's called being put on the spot.
That's right. We can slap a song in there, then it goes to station ID. Let's roll.
What?
All right, whatever.
He's like, da-da-da-da-da, let's roll. I'm like, what?
Oh. I mean, we could take a quick break, come back for a couple minutes, and preface the third hour.
Because the third hour this is going to be really cool. We don't want to say too much.
Yeah.
But we're going to let people know. Because we're going to pop in on social media.
I don't know. Probably once a day, I would imagine we're going to pop in or out.
At least, yeah. It's going to be pretty cool. Matt and I are going... Well, no.
Not yet. Not yet. Not yet. But I'm packed. I can say that. I'm packed.
I can't say... You are?
I am packed.
I thought you said you weren't.
No, I am. I am packed. I am now officially packed.
Obviously, you aren't packed.
I didn't ask you. Do I get to bring my swimsuit?
I don't know. Why the heck are you asking me?
I don't know. Dad? I don't know.
Was that an age joke?
I mean, maybe.
Well, listen here, son. No, I'm not packed. My shotgun is clean and ready to go, but that's because it's brand new.
I didn't clean mine. But that's also because it's not mine. So I just borrowed it.
That's a horrible excuse. God, I'm never alone in you, my shotgun.
But I also got there's 2 bows in the back. This will give them a little bit of a idea maybe of what we're doing. I've got
snake boots
in my truck in my trunk of my car right now. I have snake boots.
Mm-hmm.
I do have my swimsuit packed. I wasn't sure, but I have that.
You're gonna jump off of something.
I've got I've got my bow fishing bow. I said shotgun bow fishing bow. I've got snake boots. I've got sunscreen. I've got a one-winged robo dove because I couldn't find the other wing.
It purrs like a kitten.
And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, they're living in Tennessee and
Special.
dove season started and they're just going dove hunting. Yeah, hold on. Just hold on. What else do I got back? I got some of that America bourbon.
Oh, you brought that?
Sure did.
Nice.
Even though we're going like right. Well,
oh, you know what?
We could drive right by old Derek.
I'm gonna
give him a high five.
I'm going to give him a little plug. I think I'm going to bring that Black Sheep tequila.
Ooh. I haven't tried it yet.
Dude, I hate tequila. This is amazing. You know what? I'm going to save that for the next hour too. Because
you should.
That is a pretty cool thing. And
it's not like he hasn't ever done anything for us. So we can give a gracious plug to him.
Oh, I have no problem giving the man a plug. He's a great man. But that tequila, dude. Even if I didn't know Mark, and I kind of let the cat out of the bag, but even if I didn't know Mark, I'm mind blown. And I don't even drink. And I mean, you've been around me long enough. I don't drink, but it's good. I got to be careful with that. You ready to take a break, Nick? Because this last hour is going to be kind of action-packed, and we're both sitting here bouncing in our seats.
Let's do it.
So, couple songs. We'll be right back. You're listening to 100.9 The Farm. Get up. Woo! Look at there.
This moment was brought to you by Higdon Outdoors, a leader in the waterfowl industry for over 25 years. Check us out at HigdonOutdoors.com. Higdon Outdoors has been helping waterfowl hunters make the most of their time in the field for over 25 years. We are a family-owned company, and we're proud to serve duck and goose hunters just like you. We make high-quality, innovative decoys and hunting products that you can afford, helping you focus on what's really important. Check us out at HigdonOutdoors.com. Innovation, quality, customer service. That's Higdon Outdoors. Get real. Get Higdon.
Usually right about now, we'd be playing some music, but due to restrictions and copyrights, we can't allow music to play. So if you'd like to hear music in between breaks, tune in every Wednesday evening from 6 to 9 p.m. Central and hear us live at backtothelodge.com. Click the Listen Now button and you'll be back to the lodge.
This country was born to believe in something larger than itself, a belief that the citizens within it could accomplish anything. From defeating an empire to sending a man to the moon, we built cities, formed the land, and through this an original spirit was born. It has forged friendships, been celebrated, and at times been the cause of debate. We might not always agree, but there is one thing we can all agree on: love of country and love of a fine bourbon. America Bourbon, vet-owned and made proudly in the USA, available nationwide at most leading retailers and at americabourbon.com.
100.9 The Farm. We're back to the lodge. So, last hour, as promised, we're going to talk about our little escape. Escape.
Work trip is what I'm telling my wife.
Well, you're busted because I'm pretty sure she listens to you.
8 o'clock, it's bedtime for her.
So, yes, well, I mean, it is a work trip.
It is a work trip.
Let's not give her.
Now, when we start laying this all out, it's going to not sound like a work trip.
No.
But it is. So, me and Patrick in the morning, we leave bright and early before the sun, and we head south. Where are we going, bud?
We are going to Rockport, Texas.
That's like northern Texas, right?
No.
No?
No. You know where it's at.
North Texas is like halfway.
So now he's doing the radio storytelling now. if it was North Texas, we got about another 8 hours drive. So no, we are going south, down south by Corpus. Not quite to the Mexico border, but it's on the way
close,
down, and it's on the Gulf. We're going down to see some friends down there who just built a new, I guess you could say, marina.
Yeah.
It's going to have a nice restaurant and fuel docks. It's really kind of a hopping place. And we're going down to check it out and take a look at some new products and help them with their endeavors. But during all this meeting, the products that we're looking at have to be shown. And it's a rigging product. We'll say more about it once we learn more about it. But this rigging product, so we were going to do offshore fishing. But with the hurricane coming up in, it's been a little rough in the Gulf. We may end up inland. We're just kind of playing it by ear, but we'll be out on the boat. And we're going to do some fishing. And while that sounds great, this gentleman says, well, we got this green light we put on the dock, and these reds just come swimming right up to it.
Yep.
And Matt's like, bringing
the bow.
Yeah. So little bow fishing off the dock, maybe hit a bull or two. Obviously one each. Yep. So when I say two.
A bull is a big redfish for people that are not in with the lingo.
And funny enough, I've never ate a redfish, which you told me how great they are. Oddly enough, you told me this yesterday. Mm-hmm. And 4 hours later, I'm talking to someone else, and he goes, oh my God, it's the best in the world. Like, I'm the biggest foodie in the world here. How did I miss this?
It's so similar to,
I've heard even like similar to crappie.
It's similar in flakiness to like grouper or red
grouper.
snapper or those types of fish. But truthfully, the other reason that makes those fish very, very good is because they don't have a very strong fishy taste and they take so well to what you're seasoning it. You know, a lot of people don't like very strong tasting fish, which is why walleye, perch, panfish, those are, you know, the go-tos.
I like orange roughy.
So like a blackened redfish, a well done, you know, prepared, you know, blackened redfish on the half shell is just something else.
Wow. Well, I'm looking forward to that because I believe the limit's 5.
I believe it's 5. One, you can only have one over. It's either 32 or 36.
Is it a bull and 4 or 5 total? 5 plus
5 total, but you can only have one over 32 or 36.
We'll be lucky to get one watch. That's usually how it goes. We're going, what's the limit again?
I've been bow fishing specifically for redfish before. A bull is a very big fish. It's not uncommon to shoot a couple in a night, but that's a big fish. So
I look forward to it.
Typically they're going to be smaller, but people that don't know what redfish are, they're that longer, sleeker fish that almost look like they have an eye on their tail. Sometimes they have more than one little dot, but really gorgeous fish. And they're super fun to catch, although I don't really pick up a rod and reel very often anymore.
It's definitely a 2-bow shot to bring one in because it's the fight of your life. I know that.
We're going to be doing that. We're also bringing shotguns.
Yeah, so we'll be heading up to the ranch and doing a little dove hunt. And I look forward to doing, which I didn't hear this until Tennessee, but the jalapeno bacon wrap cheese stuffed dove.
Filet mignon of the sky.
Yeah. Man, does that sound good. So I'm looking forward to us tearing up some of those. And he said we're going to eat good. Like, we're going to eat. And
you got to bring me back some. Please.
I'm not taking that big of a cooler. We'll see what we can do.
And then we're making one more stop, too.
And that was the original trip down, which we're heading over for. I'm going to get too excited if I talk about it. So I'm going to let you talk about it.
About the last stop?
Yeah, so over to BT.
Yeah, we're going to go stop by our boy Benny, which he was on episode 3, I think.
Something like that.
I think 3. Yeah. Benny was on, it was the same episode with Bruce Mitchell. But we're going to go out with Benny. And we're going to go shoot,
I'm so excited.
You know, gator gar or buffalo. Whatever.
Did you see the gator gar that he got not too long ago?
Well, so he shot a 8.5 footer. That was probably back near April. It was the second biggest fish, I believe. And I'm sorry, Benny, if I'm butchering this, but I believe it's the second biggest fish that he's ever boated. But yeah, I mean, it was a 230 pound behemoth.
Oh, the teeth on that thing would rip your arm off. I mean, it's massive.
There's a difference between them 8.5. I mean, so the biggest gator gar that I've ever boated was 6 foot 2 inches. But that fish only went.
That's almost me.
The fish only went like 78 pounds.
Okay, that's not me.
so just figure in 2 more feet of length, how does it get 180 more pounds? They just, at that point, once they start hitting that super length,
it's called chocolate cake.
They get round.
Yeah. No, I seen the last one that he landed up there and winched up. I'm looking at the teeth on that thing, and I'm like, look, we pulled those little gar in, and you can, just whipping them around, you can get cut.
Yeah.
Now, you're not going to whip this around.
No.
But if it gets a hold of your arm,
it's a problem.
You're done. You're done. I mean, you're going to seriously lose an arm. And I'm so excited. It's like, that's how messed up I am. I am so excited.
Sam Rayburn, where we're going to be going, is known for big gator gar. It's not necessarily known for the numbers of gator gar.
Sure, but I'm fine with that.
So, it's not even a guarantee that we'll see one. But if I had to put money into going out with somebody...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm especially in that body of water.
Even if we didn't even see a fish, to go spend the night on the boat with Benny.
Right.
We're
going to have a good time, man.
He's such a hoot. And the reason why we're putting this out there, because this is part of our media content. So we're going to be filming this. We're going to have a lot of great content that we'll share on Back to Lodge on the website. Or backtolodge.com. We'll put some stuff on there with the blog. We're going to start a blog here soon. But on the social media, too. Matt just rolled his eyes. Yes, you're typing a blog. No, wait, Nick, you're doing the blog.
Yeah, sounds like a Nick job.
What?
Nick's fault.
Nick's fault.
Oh, my gosh.
See how I just did that?
It's like help him with the songwriting. It's for you, Nick. That's really what this is for. It's for us to help you.
What was the pigeon hunt? Who was the politician on the pigeon hunt that was like shooting and all of a sudden just turning shot? Was it Cheney?
Cheney got shot.
Yeah, that's what I just did to you, Nick.
It was a quail hunt.
Yeah,
it was
like
a quail hunt.
It's like, yeah, Matt,
pepper.
you're doing the blog. Wait, no, Nick, you're doing the blog. Like, that's exactly how that just happened.
Yeah.
I just turned and aimed and pulled the trigger.
Bam.
So, but yeah, we're gonna have a lot of great content. There'll be some. Look, we'll have content. Nick's going to be doing some media editing because he's getting into that with us now.
Yeah.
But I will personally make sure the blooper reel gets put together.
Oh, great.
And if you didn't catch the blooper reel of Matt that we posted, go back and check it out recently in our post because we did say we were going to share. And we had another great video of you this week.
Yeah.
Last Friday, actually.
Trampoline.
There's never a dull moment when Matt's around.
No.
I come in the office. Friday was so stressful, and it's like, okay, I'm thinking, waves crashing, relaxing, peaceful spa. It's Friday. We can do this. And Matt finds this old stage prop that looks like a sunflower, and in the middle of the sunflower is this 3-foot trampoline inside of it. I'm like, all I can picture is like the Wizard of Oz on LSD.
Oh, great.
So here's the munchkin jumping up and down on the sunflower. So of course I videotape it, tying the theme music to Apocalypse Now. Here's Matt. Dun, 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 dun. This is my Friday.
And it's usually your Tuesday and your Wednesday and your Thursday.
It definitely.
It still takes you though. Like catches you off guard. I'm good at that. That's a hidden talent. There's a hidden talent right there. I'll keep you on your toes.
My face hurts, man. I've laughed. I mean, I need this. I've laughed and laughed and laughed. But I mean, look, if you leave Matt unattended, and he might think somebody's watching. He might act out a little bit. But if nobody's watching, that's when you get the best Matt.
So make sure that your insurance policy is current.
And that scares me about you. I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Although, look, I don't mean to call him out, but I will. Will, our warehouse guy, scares the bejesus out of me when he's working. And this is a dilemma for, okay, this is Carroll County. We got a lot of businesses in Carroll County. A lot of small businesses. I don't even want to tell this story because this is just opening me up.
I don't even know where you're going. Maybe I do, but I
don't even know if I want to tell this. Okay, we won't tell this. This did not happen.
Okay.
This is a hypothetical.
Sure.
We'll do a hypothetical.
If it was to have.
Yeah, so we'll use a hypothetical so nobody gets in trouble here.
Can we call him Will just for story's sake?
Yeah.
It's a simple name.
Will.
It's a common name.
Yeah, Will. So, Will. And Will and Will. Because there's 4 Wills. 3, I don't know. There's a lot of Wills.
Yeah.
But I'll tell him, look, here's what I need you to do. Go up there and, up there it could be anywhere. It could be up on a rack. It could be on a roof. An elevated height. And can you get that done for me? And this is what I love about Will. Heck yeah.
Yep.
Want to party on a yacht? Heck yeah. And he'll just jump up. I'm like, Will, you should wear a harness, or you should use a ladder, or you need to do this is ocean. I know. I'm like, please be careful. Oh God, please be careful. Oh, and I'm now asphyxiated on what he's doing, and I'm like, he's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. He's gonna get hurt. How did he do that? Yeah. And then he comes down, and I look at him like, that's not covered under insurance. And he's just like, yeah, I know, but it's done. That's why I love you, because you get stuff done.
He does.
I don't have to ask or explain. But sometimes I just don't want to know.
Gosh, demo on this new building. Me and the other Will were talking about how we needed to get this drop ceiling out, and and when you get somebody up top, and next thing you know, we just hear feet above us.
I thought we were using hypotheticals.
Well, yeah, he had a harness. Right? Anyways, all of a sudden we hear feet up above us, and then we hear Will, hey, get out from under there. It's coming down. And he just, all of a sudden the ceiling just starts coming. I mean, not the rafters.
Right.
He's
the
fine.
drywall.
I mean, he just does it. He just does it.
You guys scare me so much. I have anxiety when you guys work, because I know how to do it. But I'm that guy that's like, nope, we're going to do it the right way, because it's the safe way. And we all go home. And you guys are like, just turn around.
You know what, though? You hired us. You have the ability to fire us. And you haven't. So. Nah, you know what? It's Nick's
I'm
fault.
publicly saying on the radio you are to follow OSHA at all times. So if you do not follow OSHA,
Who's she? I haven't met her yet.
never heard of her.
Oh my god.
But no, they do follow OSHA. And all joking aside, and they do it the right way, but they still give me anxiety. And I'm like, oh my God. And it can get pretty strict at some. I've worked at some places where it's really strict. They'll throw you off site for not doing something above and beyond the federal requirement. And that's great. And people should be safe. But I love you guys. You just get it done. But anyways, let's backtrack because I did want to bring something up. Where are we at? We're good on time. We can fill this up. So, a friend of mine, Mark Bailey. Mark is a super smart guy, and when I tend to not toot my horn. I feel like I'm a smart guy, especially when it comes to business.
Smart butt.
I just got a text from Will. Who is she? But anyways, Mark is a business guru. He's managed retail, distribution, NASCAR teams, racing, marketing, brands, product. He's just...
Yeah, you name it. His finger's been in it.
He's been there, done that, got the shirt, worn it, wore it out, threw it out. I don't even know how many years this has been in the making. And I really wish I knew the number because I don't want to sell him short. Mm-hmm. And keep in mind, I don't get a dime from Mark. We've known each other. I wouldn't even say we're great friends. We just know each other. We know each other fairly well. Not great, but he finally pulled the trigger on a new tequila line. And the tequila is called Black Sheep Tequila. And you can find it at blacksheeptequila.com. That was hard to figure out. But, man, preface. I feel like the show's turning into Family Guy, where we have to cut and go to a scene before we tell a story. So let's reverse to 2000, the year 2000. No, 1999. 2000. Doesn't really matter.
Fact check.
I was 19
year.
It was 2000. I was 19 years old, about to be 20. Or 19. Anyways, I got my pilot's license in July, right around my birthday. That was a pretty big deal. Like, you get your pilot's license as a kid, and it's your birthday. And my roommate had a fake ID. And he's like, hey, what do you want tonight? And I had just had my first, I think it was a margarita, and I had tasted Cuervo for the first time. And I'm like, tequila! I don't know a darn thing about alcohol. Well, we're young. We're very young, obviously. And I sent $20 with my friend Jay to the liquor store in Daytona Beach. And he says, what kind of tequila do you want? I don't know.
$20.
Tequila, yeah, I got $20. And he comes back with Cuervo. Not Cuervo Especial.
Right.
Cuervo Tradicional. This is clear.
Yep.
So, when you're 19 years old and you're a pilot, you know what you are? Cocky. And I had my first official, I own bottle of liquor. And 4 girls from the sorority showed up to this party. So what are you trying to do when you're showing off? Let me finish this bottle and I'll show you. Oh, my Lord. Halfway into the bottle, I managed to find a hammock on the back porch.
Oh, Lord.
Not laying in it, but just sitting in it. Sitting upright,
okay.
Perpendicular. I'm swinging in the hammock. 3/4 of the way into the bottle, I'm laying in the hammock. But I thought I was sitting in the hammock. And I'm calling other people names because they can't keep up. But it's only been 10 minutes since I started the bottle. The bottle's now gone in about 20 minutes.
Ooh.
You guys suck. You can't drink like a pilot. My other friend, Neil, after that bottle proved that I can fly after consuming a fifth of tequila. Because my butt flew from that hammock to the bathroom in 2 seconds. Jay comes in, picks me up, and throws me onto an air mattress in his room so I could be safe. These were good friends, by the way. I mean, as much as we goofed off, they made sure you were safe.
Right.
And Jay threw me in his room, and I painted that air mattress.
Oh, God.
I mean, painted. I'm talking stuffed green pepper. Painted.
Oh.
I woke up the next morning. I was bad. I reached in my pocket when I was 19. And when you're 19, you've got cash. Because that's what, that's what you do. And I pulled a wad of cash out and I said, Jay, I love you. I'm buying you a bed. And I set the wad of cash, what happened to be about $150 in ones. Because that was cool. Your wallet looked stuffed back then. And I left. The next day, this is how hardcore. Jay was from the Bronx. He flipped his air mattress over and didn't do anything to it.
God.
It stayed that way for quite a long time. The smell was putrid. That's when I learned Jay came from a bad home. Anyway, so I hate tequila. That was the preface. So now we're back to 2020. I can't, if I smell Cuervo, just the smell of it, immediate nauseousness. So Mark tells me about a year ago that he's getting ready to launch the Black Sheep tequila. And it's a very high-end tequila. Like Patron, that's cute. Price-wise, even. I'm not trying to tout. It is a pricey bottle. I think it was $159, $169.
Yeah, for the top, he has there's four different levels, I guess.
And in all fairness, too, I did buy the top in line because I want to try it. I want to see what this is all about.
I think it's $159, $149, $159. It's right there.
And that's shipped. So I ordered it, showed up 2 days ago? No, late last week. Well, I had to just taste it. I didn't even want to drink it. I just wanted to taste, wet your finger, taste your tongue. This was like butter. It was like, that cinnamon butter that you get at Texas Roadhouse?
Sure do.
It was like that. I was like, wow. Not like you don't get that alcohol-y, grainy flavor.
Right.
And it was extra añejo. I'm not even sure what that is.
Me neither. You might have just sworn a different language. You might want to check those things before you start spitting out Spanish. I'm pretty sure it's not a swear word.
But it's an agave, sourced product. And anyways, this is amazing. I love it. I love the flavor of it. It doesn't taste like tequila.
Mm.
So I should have brought it tonight, but I forgot. We were busy. So we'll have to talk about this again. And I promise if Mark is listening to this, you deserve a much better plug, and we will definitely get into that. But yeah, I had to share that story because that was mind-blowing. When something you don't like, whether it's drink, food, you just know you don't like it. And then all of a sudden you're like, you try a different version of it. You're like, why did I cheat myself out of this? It's pretty good. Maybe that will help me be a funnier guy. Because like the show intro says, I'm not a very funny guy.
Funny looking, yeah.
I always figured if coolers didn't work out, I could charge 35 cents to cross the bridge to get into the other side of the Tennessee River. Pay the toll. I'm going to say bye-bye.
Hey, there's your talent.
I'm having, that's some talent. I can do several voices, but that's the, I can't believe I did that. I'm having too much fun. And no, I'm not drinking tequila at all. I want to have more fun. Maybe that'll help me lighten up a little bit, be more of a fun person. I can't believe I just did that on here. Why?
Oh.
Matt, help me out here.
There ain't no helping that.
Let's take a break.
Let's do it, man.
You're listening. I can't even go to break. Help me.
You're listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
Oh.
Hey, let's just be honest. No one can ever completely beat a mature whitetail census. But if you play your cards right, you can fool them. Now, for all the work you put in to getting this close, make sure the camo you choose is up to the task. Mossy Oak, made for moments like this.
When you purchase an Icey-Tek cooler, not only are you getting the best and original rotomold cooler for your barbecue, your kid's graduation party, or maybe even the boat, but your proceeds from that purchase go on to help Gold Star families receive grief counseling retreats so they can heal and get a little piece of their heart back. So they can have the same quality of life that we share. Icey-Tek, USA.
Or when you're kissing and it tastes like whiskey, you're an alcoholic. But anyways, okay, we're having way too much fun during the breaks. That's what we do. So if you haven't figured that out now, I'm back to the lodge. We goof off quite a bit. But right before we went to that break, Matt's little radio voice just hit puberty.
Boy, it did.
I don't know how I did it. I don't know that I could do it
That
again.
was like the soundbite of the night to use for me. It's like, you're listening to Back to the Lodge. Where the hell did that come from?
Sam Elliott.
Could you do that again if you had to?
Come on, get down.
Just dig deep.
on down
dig
there.
deep.
You're listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
That's pretty good.
It was
Yeah.
close, but it wasn't exactly how I did it. I don't know. I heard myself in my headset, and I almost just wanted to keep talking.
It was like puberty hit immediately when I was like, take over this.
I don't know where it came from. No idea.
Dude, if
But
we
that spurred a whole nother conversation.
if we
Yeah.
ever had Sam Elliott, like his whole conversation would be just subwoofer.
I'm super surprised, Nick, that you can't do Sam Elliott.
I've never tried actually.
I
Because
bet
you've done
could.
some. I bet you could.
With the bass of your voice.
Let's start.
Give me a
easier.
phrase.
You do. Well, no. Let's start easier. You do like a cartoonish version of Luke Bryan.
Yeah. Well, that was awful.
Hey guys,
Just do cameo or do cameo for the show. You're listening to Back to the Lodge.
you're listening to Back to the Lodge on 100.9 The Farm.
Okay, so then use that cameo for Sam Elliott.
Whew. This one's gonna be deep.
Okay,
I'm trying to remember.
I do the high
what he
voices.
sounds
But
like.
you can handle the little ones or low.
You're listening. Nah.
That's not that bad.
That wasn't far off.
You're listening. God, I can't even do it.
Doritos.
No re.
You're right though, because you got a whole lot of like mouth movement. Which
Yeah, I know.
I think you,
His
I think
mustache dances when he says it.
that's the mustache.
Yeah.
By the
You're
way.
listening to Back to the Lodge.
That's pretty good.
It's okay.
Ugh, that's awful.
What was the other one you did at the break?
Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Oh my gosh.
We got to get to the chopper now. How?
I need a Back to the Lodge cameo. That's what I need.
A camera is what I need right now.
You're listening to Back to the Lodge right now. How?
Up, down.
Oh gosh.
Okay.
You got a couple of voices.
I do. I do more of the cartoon voices, and that came because of my kids, which the one slipped out bad. It slipped out real bad. Uh-oh. What happened here?
What?
I don't know, man. Uh-oh.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
So, yeah. So when my kids were little, and I don't know if I told this story before. I feel like I have recently.
Mm-hmm.
When my son was little, my mother, when you're grandmother, you want to spoil the first grandbaby. She buys Austin this Tickle Me Elmo. Horribly terrified to death of Tickle Me Elmo. I don't know if you guys remember that, but
I do. Yeah.
I want to say it had either like wheels on its feet or it just kind of like walked a little bit and then it fell. It went to like the fetal position, kind of did a barrel roll and went. Oh, that tickles. Elmo say tickle me here. So
Oh God!
Don't touch me there. So
It did not say that.
So I started doing the voice to say goodnight to my son. So he knew it was, Dad's telling you it's just a toy. It's okay. Lo and behold, this was years before we found out the guy that was doing the voice for Elmo was really a pedophile. And that made news, and Sesame Street had their whole falling out
I think
thing.
the original Barney was too, wasn't he?
I don't know.
One of the Barneys.
I certainly don't want to be wrong on that in the air.
I said I think.
Yeah. So, but in any case, that was how I helped Austin. It was like, I got to get away from the mic, or it just gets too loud, and somebody's going to wreck their car, and that would be awful. Why did you wreck your car? Elmo freaked me out. Elmo said, "Good night, Austin. Good night." So my son loved that. Well, then, as he broke into Elmo, and Dad's home from traveling for work and everything, he started watching. I think it was called Mickey Mouse Playhouse.
Mm-hmm.
Clubhouse. Thank you. Man, my phone is blowing up. Oh, I'm getting close to being booked for a children's birthday party.
Abort. Whoever that was.
Matt's not allowed within 500 feet.
Oh, here we go.
Even my dad. That was close to being X-rated. So anyways, he got into the Mickey Mouse show, and there was that jingle that came out in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I can't remember how old my son was. I want to say he was 2 or 3. And what, they're so cute at that age. But he wanted to get up, and when the song came on, and I can't remember how it went, but it was it's the Mickey Mouse Playhouse, Funhouse, Clubhouse. And something, Come With Me, and Austin would just get up and shake his little butt in front of the TV with his arms in the air, and he had a blast.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm listening, and I'm like, I can do this. So it goes to commercial, and it just crushed him. Like, the song's over. Dad, rewind it. Dad, rewind it. So finally, he did this for a while, and kids will watch the same episode over and over and over and over again. So one day, I don't know, a football game was coming on or something. I was such a butt. I wanted to watch my team play college football. And anyways, he's like, Dad, rewind it. I said, no, we're gonna finish this episode, so it's done, and then you're gonna go take your nap, and Daddy's gonna watch TV for a little bit. And he got so mad, and he turned around and looked at the TV, and I went, oh boy, go to bed, Austin. He pooped right there in the living room and turned around. You're Mickey Mouse? I'm like, I'm everywhere. It's just like, he's like, his mouth was open in shock. And I just looked at him again and went, oh boy. He hightails it up the steps, crying. I'm like, okay. So yeah, that was the 2 cartoonish voices I picked up. And it started with a fascination from a show called Bobby's World, which was narrated by, I just said his name a little bit ago. He's the judge on American Idol or something. He's the bald guy that doesn't like anybody touching his hands. Howie Mandel, yeah. So Howie Mandel used to have a show called Bobby's World, which was a cartoon. I want to say the early 90s, 91, 89, somewhere
I think you're
in there.
Somewhere in there.
And it was Bobby from Bobby's World. And that just kind of stuck with me. So Elmo kind of came naturally. And I started learning the Elmo voice, and shortly after that, when YouTube started getting big, yes, I'm that old. I'm older than YouTube. So anyways, we're older than Google, Matt. We're older than the internet. No, we're not older than the internet, because Bob Dole. Anyways, Dan Quayle invented the internet. Or was it Dole? I don't remember who claimed that.
I don't know either.
Anyways, that was a joke that got burnt in translation.
Yeah.
But this guy goes to order Taco Bell on YouTube, and it went viral. And he goes into Taco Bell, and he's like, and I'll do my best, because I'm not quoting specifically. He's like, Elmo, like 2 chicken chalupa supremes with a Mountain Dew, and can I get a Nacho Bel Grande? And Elmo said, extra hot sauce and napkins. It's like, and then the lady in the drive-thru at Taco Bell was like, you gotta be kidding me. Is this for real? And she's laughing. She goes, do you want extra sauce with that? And he had already said it. And she's like laughing hysterically. It'll be $13.95. Elmo said thank you. And they pull up, and the dude's tattooed, and he's like, what's up? I'm like, I need to do that. But I never really got up the gumption to do it.
Yeah, we got a trip coming.
I need some of that tequila.
Well, I'm not doing Taco Bell on a road trip.
Or Taco Bell with tequila on a road trip. But yeah, that's how this all came to be. I'm so proud. My folks are probably so ashamed. But it really boiled down to Mom buying him the Tickle Me Elmo, and it terrified him. So never forget it. I hope to gosh when my son is older and I tell him the story, he's like, that didn't happen. Elmo's a wuss. You know, like, he scared the poop out of you. Oh no, that was Mickey Mouse. But, so yeah, that's my.
I've got no voices.
You just did a good cameo.
Yeah, but I mean,
he's Matthew Dretzka.
I wish.
you get that.
I was saying during the break, I wish I could do impressions. It's one of like a talent that I wish I did have, and I don't.
I bet if you tried.
I'm sure there's something out there that I could, but nothing that I've ever been successful at. I can't even think of one that I would even be close at.
Look, I'd rather be saying that than I do Elmo.
That's true. I'm glad I don't.
You
do
go
Elmo.
to jail for that sometimes. I mean, look, I've got to have a little more of a light heart. I get that. But I'm not going to bust out Elmo on a traffic stop. I could just see this now. License and registration. Do you have any idea how fast you were going? Elmo says 60 on a 35. I'm going to jail. It's just not going to go well.
I bet if I tried, I could probably do Kermit the Frog.
Really?
But if I tried.
Well, it's pretty close to Luke Bryan, isn't it?
Yeah.
We're never going to have him as a guest on the show.
Oh, no.
Kermit?
No?
Yes.
No, yeah, but you got to say more than that.
You got to go beyond that.
What's a line he says?
Say
Maybe.
just
It ain't easy being green.
Do what?
It ain't easy being green.
You know?
Just do our welcome back to the farm. To the there it is again.
It's warm in here.
You're listening to Back to the Lodge.
Oh, gosh.
I want you to hit Sam Elliott one more time because I think you've got it.
I feel like whenever I talk in his voice, I have to give like that.
I think, okay, I can see the next commercial now. It's going to be Sam Elliott versus Kermit the Frog at the High Noon Saloon or whatever.
Like, I don't know. Just like whenever he talks, I feel like I don't know if it's just what people do with like just very large mustaches, but like whenever they talk, they're like, "You're listening to Back to the Lodge."
It's a filter for the microphone. When you lean, you tip your head down, you got that voice filter. So, okay, we have had way too much fun for one night. So, until next week, ask yourself, what are you grateful for? Really? Really, what are you grateful for? As always, I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Nick.
And we were Back to the Lodge. Have a great night, folks.
Hey guys, Nick here from Back to the Lodge. If you like the show, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and click the notification bell so you can be notified when our next show gets uploaded. And if you want to listen live, don't forget to tune in each Wednesday night from 6 to 9 Central. You can go to our website at backtothelodge.com, click the Listen Now button, and you'll be back to the lodge. The link to our website is down below in the description, backtothelodge.com. Until next time, we'll see you next week. Back to the Lodge.